Welcome to this presentation on 7 qualities of a good family physician. My name is Dr. Kamlesh Bhargav, and I've made this presentation. In fact, this is my philosophy based on the feedback from patients, friends, families over a long career. And besides, the latest feedback I have got is from doctors working in the clinic organization. So welcome to this presentation, and there we go. Now, the number one quality a good family physician would have is he's a good communicator. When we say good communicator, he's a good listener. Often patients say that the doctor did not listen to me. He did not hear. And when we are talking about communication and listening, we're not only talking about verbal, but non-verbal cues also. Equally important. The consultation starts the moment a patient walks into the clinic. And at the end of the consultation, we need to give the patient written instructions, handouts, what some people call it as exit instructions, handouts which are pre-prepared, or references to videos which could be personal or otherwise. So that is the number two is quality is the doctor should be competent, he should be knowledgeable. Because in family practice, the kinds of cases which we see are a wide variety. It's not possible to know about everything. There's uncertainty. Uncertainty both in terms of the knowledge of the physician, as well as in terms of the uncertainty of the course of progression of a disease, which might vary. The same disease condition might vary from individuals to individual. So there's a lot of uncertainty. How do you manage? One is about the knowledge. A doctor needs to be an information master. They need to learn the skills of information mastery. In this day and age, in our handhelds, smartphones, you can access any information, any knowledge. In fact, there's an infodemic. You need to find out which one is good, which one is not. In fact, he should be at the stage of feeling good about not knowing everything. He tells the patient, oh, I don't know, but I will find out. Also, to manage uncertainty with a particular disease condition, we use time as a tool to see how the things progress. Take these medications, do these investigations, and report to me after 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is. Secondly, we do tests to come to the next step to make the diagnosis. The number 3 quality would be the doctor. The doctor is patient-centered. And when we say patient-centered, he should be compassionate. He should be empathetic to the patient. He gives hope. Never take away the hope from an individual, and gives appropriate reassurance. I would like to highlight the word appropriate reassurance. No false hopes also. The decision about treatment, whether it is diagnostic tests, CT scan, MRIs, blood tests, biopsies, etc., and in treatment, pharmacological, non-pharmacological, the decisions should be a shared decision-making, shared between the doctor and the patient. This will help to improve the outcomes of the patient. Also, one should respect alternative forms of medications. These days, a lot of other forms of medicines are coming up. The term now being used is integrative medicine, in which we incorporate. It could be something in diet, it could be something in exercise, it could be in Ayurvedic, homeopathic, etc. Some things the doctor will know, some things which they don't know. So they should be honest enough to say, oh, I don't know about it. Well, the choice is yours. Lastly, the doctor treats the patient and not the disease. हिंदी में मरीज का इलाज करता है, मर्ज का नहीं. We just don't treat the blood sugar levels, blood pressure levels, cholesterol levels. We treat the patient as a whole. Also, in this day and age, there's a lot of hue and cry. People don't trust doctors. It is because they think they are not ethical. They don't have integrity. They are influenced by big pharma, or they are influenced by corporate incentives. It could be incentives from various people. So one should be transparent and clear about that. Ethical in terms about the honesty, which I mentioned, and diagnosis, prognosis, treatment, and benefit options. For the same disease condition, there could be various treatment options, right from just talk therapy to medications to non-pharmacological diet, exercise, or surgery. Each one has its own benefits and its own risks. So the doctor should be able to brief the patient and leave the choice to the patient. Again, he should be skilled at breaking bad news. As far as I'm concerned, I think that any medical condition or a diagnosis which we make is a bad news. Whether it is fracture of the small metacarpal or whether it is a cancer. Everything affects the patient as a whole, and that's bad news. That should be told appropriately. Often, doctors in their grandeur do not fail to do this, and they are not considered good. Point number 5, the doctor should write a green prescription. What do we mean by green prescription? It's basically talking about non-pharmacological interventions like diet. The doctor should know about intermittent fasting, various forms of diets, role of probiotics, microbiome, improving the gut health, etc. All have consequences on an individual's health. So the doctor should be aware of that. Exercise, it brings in a lot of benefits, some of the benefits which cannot be quantitated with medications. With double-blind randomized controlled trials, everything is quantitated. With exercise, the benefits, it's difficult to quantitate, but they do have a role. Physiotherapy, it has a role to play. Non-pharmacological interventions, even in the form of meditation, prayers, relaxation, socializing, laughter therapy, all these have an effect. Unfortunately, they cannot be quantified, but they do have an effect. And the doctors should brief that, well, these have a role to play. Same goes with counseling, whether it is about lifestyle changes, whether it is about drug addiction and alcohol addiction or cigarette smoking, counseling is required for everything. Deprescribing, new word. The quote is, the length of a prescription shows the ignorance of a doctor. I'll repeat, the length of a prescription shows the ignorance of a doctor. The more the number of medications in your prescription is not appropriate, mildly. So review the number of medications which a patient is taking, and can you do away with some things, right? Teamwork, for me, is dreamwork. I love working in teams. And whether it's at the place of work, with the office staff, the paramedical staff, everybody counts. To keep, it's for the doctor's benefit as well as for the outcomes of the patient, including the caregivers. They are part of the team which is taking care of the patient. So they should be involved and they should be taken care of. Care of the caregivers is important. Teamwork along with other specialists, we want the patient to benefit. So when you are making a referral, make the appropriate referral. The documentation should be good, and always look for a feedback, preferably written. This is good to build up a family physician's own knowledge base. Also, in a team, everybody takes each individual takes responsibility right from the reception to the nurse, to the doctor or paramedical staff. Everybody has their own responsibility to play, and they should take that. Lastly, a good family physician would be grateful to the patient for being a teacher, because each patient is an individual, comes with his own ideas, concerns, and expectations, and comorbid conditions. So you learn something from each patient, including your knowledge gaps. The patients are examiners. Whatever exams we have passed, we still will face questions from patients which we have never come across. So they are our number one everyday examiners. We should thank the patients for having faith and confidence in the doctor, in us, to come to us to seeking for advice, and we should not disappoint them. And we should thank the patient for being responsible for his own health and taking active interest. With that, thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure addressing you. I would love to have feedback and your thoughts about this. You can email me. My email address is given them there, or also below in the response column. So that is all. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.